Okay, I thought I'd do a quick review on a brand new solid state drive that I have right now. And this one is very decent. It's a Seagate Barracuda Q5 1 terabyte uh, model. And according to the specs on Newegg and also Amazon, it's generation 3. So of course it's a budget SSD, but it's still decent for the price. And for anyone that is looking to upgrade their storage space very inexpensively, I would definitely recommend a drive like this. And I also have a few uh, pointers to look for when it comes to these solid state drives. I tend to go for solid state drives from brands like Samsung, uh, Seagate, Western Digital. Um, Team Group also has some decent solid state drives, even though they're not usually my first choice. They're not bad for the price though. I'll probably recommend something like a Crucial solid state drive. Um, but this one that I have here is roughly one terabyte, so which means it's 1,000 gigabytes total size. Um, and if you want to check out the specifications of this drive, I would recommend going to the manufacturer's website, which is the one I have up here. So this is the manufacturer's website of the Q5 M.2, and apparently, according to the specification sheet on the website itself, they sell this drive in I think three variants. They have the 500 gigabyte version, they have the 1 terabyte, and then they also have the 2 terabyte version. All right. So since I happen to have the 1 terabyte version, I'll review this one instead, which says it has a 3-year warranty. And also when you click here, where it says the data sheet for the solid state drive itself. The data sheet allows you to see the sequential read and write speeds that this drive is advertised at, to be able to put out. All right. So according to this sheet here on this section, the sequential maximum read speed is around 2400 megabytes per second, and the sequential write speed is around 1700. So in order to verify this, you can download a program like this one here. I have the Crystal Disk Mark. And what this is going to allow me to do is benchmark my solid state drive right now to see if these speeds here are actually if I can actually verify this for a fact that it does read around 2400 megabytes and 1700 megabytes. All right. So this is what I do. I'll click on what I'll do from here is since I have two solid state drives, I have to select the one that I want to benchmark, and I'll click on the one drive F, which happens to be the other solid state drive, right? Because when I click on this PC here, you can see, and I right click on the properties. When I right click on the drive here and I click on properties, and what I'll do is I'll go over to the hardware tab to see which drive is which. See? So now I know that this one here is as you can see, the Seagate Barracuda Q5. This is the serial number for the drive itself. And as you can see, you can tell which one is which because this one has 931 gigabytes total size, which is roughly 1 terabyte. So because this is labeled F, this is how I know which one to pick from this program here. So I'll just select this one here instead, and then I'll just click this button where it says all, and then it'll start testing the speed, like the raw performance of the drive itself, to show you in megabytes per second, how much data is able to transfer at any given time. All right. So as you can see, the read speed already came out to 2400, just over 2400 megabytes per second, which is correct. And then what it's going to do is going to continue down the line here to let me know whether or not these speeds here on the website match. All right, so it just takes a few minutes. I'm going to skip ahead while editing the video so you won't have to wait that long. I won't make people wait here until this finishes running the benchmark, because I know that's kind of boring, and I know a lot of people may not appreciate that. All right, so when this program is finished, then I'll come back and continue with the recording. Okay, so these are the results for the drive itself, and as you can see, it's not that bad at all. And for the write speed, it actually exceeded the sequential read, the sequential write speed that was advertised on the website here. You know, they said that it was 2400 megabytes for the read speed, which is this side, and 1700 for the write speed. But it's on here, it says 1917. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Not this one, I mean this one up here, 1933. I'm not entirely sure how that happened, but it's good that it can exceed expectations for anyone that's looking for a drive like this, right? Because right now I'm not using this drive to run Windows. I'm only using it for mass storage. And the nice thing about running two drives, especially when they're solid state drives, is that if you already have Windows loaded up on one single solid state drive, regardless of the capacity that it is, 256, 500 gig, even if it's 1 terabyte, any other drives that you may want to use afterward are not going to be doing anything on the computer unless you want to load data onto it, or if you want to open a file on it. That's the way how it works. So if I pull up Task Manager right now to show you, it's not going to be using this drive at all, this one here. It's just pretty much going to be sitting here idle until I request something from it, like a program or a file, like I said before. And even though these numbers may not seem that impressive to some enthusiasts, for the price, I think this is really good, because it'll mean that you could easily get your work done much faster, especially if you're starting to get into video editing or anything like that, and you're looking for a simple, very inexpensive solution. I would definitely recommend this drive, because right now on Amazon, they don't seem to have it in stock. The last time when it came here, they said it was for like $70 US or so, which is really good. Well, right now on Newegg, they have it for around $60. So you could pick this up. You could plug it into your motherboard. If your motherboard happens to have two M.2 slots on it for solid state drives, you can do that. And these are the kind of motherboards that I would recommend. Let's say, for instance, you have a B760M DS3H. Let me just check out this motherboard. All right, so let's say, for instance, you have a motherboard very similar to this one. What you could do is you could plug your main solid state drive for running Windows into this one here, and then for the mass storage, what you would do is you would plug it down here. Right, so this one up here will be utilized for the primary drive, which would be disk number 1, and then this one down here will be disk number 2. So what Windows is going to do is going to label the drives, starting from C, local disk C, and then it's going to go from C to D, E, F, G, in alphabetical order, like that. All right, it's really that simple. And not only can you use a motherboard like this, but you could also use one like this one. Like if you wanted to go AMD, yeah, you could also use a motherboard like this as well to plug it in. As you can see, this one also has two M.2 slots on it for solid state drives. All right, so it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing here. And that's about it. Now, in terms of where to get this program from, like I said, I'm going to put a link in the description where you can download this for free. And I recommend downloading the zip version, the zip version of this program. Um, as you can see right now, right now they are advertising version 8 for the Crystal Disk Mark program, and you could download this and test your solid state drives to make sure you're getting the advertised speed, regardless of if you got a Samsung drive or if you got Crucial or whatever branded drive you have. Again, make sure you go onto the manufacturer's website to check out the sequential read and write speeds that they advertise, and then you could just use this program here to make sure that you're getting that speed. All right, because some drives like from Samsung, they may require some driver updates or something to make sure that you can get that speed. But the nice thing with a drive like this that is more budget friendly is that it pretty much depends on the motherboard slots themselves. All right, because usually, as far as I know, the topmost slot on your motherboard is what's going to determine where you should be plugging in your solid state drives. So it just depends on your entire configuration. I was just going to go onto the Gigabyte website to check out that motherboard, the B760M DS3H, to see if they also if they also support Generation 4 SSDs. But I don't think so. A motherboard price like that probably won't be able to do that. But still, it's still good to know. And pretty much that's my review of this drive. Is, as you can see, from Newegg, is a pretty good price right now. So if you want to get this in a 2 TB version, you probably can do that. And that's it for now. This is Lu67 signing off.